रोशनी का कारवां.
This podcast is brought to you by Score Foundation.
ये है रोशनी, रोशनी, रोशनी का कारवां. रोशनी. Eyeway, ये है रोशनी का कारवां.
Hi, my name is George Abraham and welcome to Eyeway Conversations. My guest today is Vasundhara Raturi from Delhi, who is a professional singer. Hi, Vasundhara.
Hello, George, sir. Thank you so much for inviting me on this platform.
Well, it's a privilege having you on the show. And let's begin. You recently collaborated with Pawandeep Rajan and have sung a couple of songs. So tell us a little bit about this collaboration and the songs, and how did the people respond to you?
It was indeed a great pleasure collaborating with Pawandeep Rajan, whom I fondly call Pawandeep Bhai because he's just like a brother to me, and he belongs from the state of Uttarakhand, the same place where I belong from. There were two songs that I sang along with him. One was titled Redharam Zara tu Jaag Zara, and the other one, which was released shortly after, was titled Rangrez Re. So this was released on the YouTube channel of Akshat Creations. Though it is true that we could not record in the same studio, but so it went like I was in Delhi and Pawandeep Bhai was in Bombay. But the collaboration and the mixing that came out was truly magical and mesmerizing. And I would really like to thank B.S. Bisht uncle, who gave us this opportunity to collaborate. And I would like to share that, these songs were a great hit because when these songs were released, in a very short span of time, both these songs managed to cross 500K views in probably less than a month.
While the topic is fresh, I'm sure our listeners would like to hear a few lines of one of those songs.
Sure, I will just hum a few lines of Rangrez Re for everybody. Hope you all like it. कौन दिशा से आयो, कौन सुरंग लायो, कौन दिशा से आयो, कौन सुरंग लायो, हाँ रंग गयो मोहे रंग रेज रे, रंग गयो मोहे रंग रेज. Thank you so much.
That was beautiful. And you have a lovely voice.
Thank you
And
so
I'm
much.
sure a lot of our listeners would like to actually go out and listen to you on YouTube and actually hear the production.
Please do so. That would be really great.
So, what is the YouTube channel called?
So the channel which these songs were released on is called Akshat Creations.
Akshat Creations.
Yes, you may visit that. You may type the title of the songs, or you may simply type the channel name, and these songs will appear right before you.
I also believe that you have been on the reality show of Saregama. What was that like?
Yes, being on Saregamapa Little Champs, which was telecasted in the year 2007 and 8. So it was a wonderful experience, and an experience which shall remain with me for a lifetime for sure, because not just that I got to perform in front of esteemed guests and judges, respectively Suresh Wadkarji and Sonu Nigamji, who were the judges of that show, but also the techniques of singing that we got to learn, or how one should perform on stage. All these technicalities and nuances we got to learn on the set, and this learning that we acquired from Saregama Little Champs has remained with me throughout and shall remain with me throughout. I was very, very fortunate to have interacted with some celebrity judges such as Alka Yagnik ji, who is the great playback singer of our country, and Vishal Shekhar ji, who is the music director, who are the duo who compose wonderful songs for Bollywood, and many such other dignitaries. If I could mention one memorable performance that was there in Saregamapa, it was I had sung an Asha Bhosle ji's song. So it was titled Khatuba. And though initially I was pretty nervous to perform this song because it's certainly not an easy song. And for me, who was a 10-year-old little child, I was super nervous whether I will be able to pick up all those nuances that Asha ji has lent to the song, and all the subtleties of the song. And when I performed this on stage, to my surprise, to my pleasant surprise, Sonu ji, he came up on the stage and picked me up. He lifted me, and as a form of appreciation, because he liked it so much. So that was a blessing that I received from him.
If you know of anyone with vision impairment who needs guidance on living life with blindness, please share the Eyeway National Toll-Free Helpline number 1800-5320-469. The number is 1800-5320-469.
I also understand that you had the opportunity of performing in front of Lata Mangeshkar.
We were very, very privileged to receive the blessings of late Lata Mangeshkar ji. It so happened that I got to visit her house along with our co-contestants, and we got to touch her feet, and I got to sing 2 lines of one of her first hits, that was Aayega Aane Wala. And though I sang it in a very trembling voice, because I revere her so much, I worship Lata ji in a way, because she has taught us so much. We have learned so much from her, and singing in front of her was nothing less than a memorable experience. So I was kind of nervous, but she blessed me so much, and I would just like to echo the words that she said. In Hindi she said, "तुम बहुत सुरीली हो, तुम मेरा आशीर्वाद है, तुम बहुत आगे जाओगे." So that translates to, you are very tuneful, you sing in sur, in the perfect pitch, and my blessings are that you would definitely excel in what you do.
Incredible. Now that we're talking about Lata Mangeshkar, and you mentioned the song you sang before Lata ji, would you like to just sing those 2 lines of that particular song? Because that's a wonderful song.
Sure, sir. It is a humble tribute from my side to Lata ji as well.
Yeah.
आएगा 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 आने वाला आएगा 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 दीपक बगैर कैसे परवाने जल रहे हैं, दीपक बगैर कैसे परवाने जल रहे हैं, कोई नहीं चलाता और तीर चल रहे हैं, तड़पेगा कोई कब तक बेआस बेसहारे, तड़पेगा कोई कब तक बेआस बेसहारे, लेकिन ये कह रहे हैं दिल के मेरे इशारे, आएगा 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 आने वाला आएगा आएगा आएगा. Thank you so much.
That was wonderful. And you've also, as a musician, traveled the world. You've performed in different countries. So would you like to tell us a little bit about your travels, your performances, and if there were any interesting memories that you'd like to share?
Sure. Yes, I got the privilege to perform in several countries, including the UAE, Qatar, Oman, Saudi Arabia, the US, and the UK, and Luxembourg as well. So, performing abroad in itself is a wonderful experience because, uh, as we know, that there are many expats who are residing there and who literally, I would say, crave to witness Indian performances and Indian singers, and whatever Indian they hear, they feel extremely connected to their roots and to their motherland. So it becomes our responsibility as musicians or as singers to bring that flavor to that audience so that they can relish it, they can enjoy it to the fullest. And it so happens that sometimes when we do perform patriotic songs for the audience there, or when we sing some ghazals or some song which connects them to their motherland, witnessing, and they experience tears in their eyes, they start crying, and that connection that builds up there while we are singing, that makes us feel that yes, we are doing justice to our art, and yes, we are um, bringing that emotion to the audience, or we are able to connect through them freely. So I remember when I was performing back in Saudi, I was performing "ए मेरे प्यारे वतन ए मेरे बिछड़े चमन तुझ पे दिल कुर्बान." So tears welled up in the eyes of the audience, I was told, and that made me feel complete in the sense that I was able to bring up that emotion. So yes, this is a very interesting thing, and this is very fulfilling as well, that we are able to justify what we are doing. I remember in Dubai, in the UAE, when I went to perform. So, as I mentioned earlier, I'm from Uttarakhand. So,
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to perform some Gadhwali and Kumauni songs, which are very particular to that region.
Yeah.
So, I've seen the enthusiasm in the audience, the way they dance, and the way they sing along when you are humming the melody on the stage, or when you are performing. It's super exhilarating, and it's super satisfying. So I was singing this song. It's titled Gori Mukhudi Sajili Nakamaki Nathuli. So this is a very, very popular song of Uttarakhand. And when I was singing it, the people who were clapping and who were dancing, they came up to me after the concert, and they were like, "You have transported us back to our motherland and our the native region where we belong from." So that in itself fills me with immense satisfaction, for sure.
To support our work with the blind and visually impaired, you can visit the donate page on our website www.scorefoundation.org.in. Please note www.scorefoundation.org.in.
You don't have a company or somebody who promotes you and who markets you.
So basically, what happens is we are not tied to any event management company as such, but since we perform at places, so contacts build up from there. And if somebody has seen us performing, then if there are some event management companies, or if there are some organizers who are in the audience, they come to us after the concerts, and they try to contact us. They take our contact numbers, and then in the future, if they have any such event that they're organizing, or if there is any particular theme which they find us suitable for performing in, they contact us.
You were also part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. What
Yes.
exactly were you doing there? Obviously, you were singing, but where did it happen, and what did you sing, and how long was your performance? Who were the audience?
Yes. So, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, as many people might be knowing, it was basically a year celebration, a year-long celebration that was done by the government of India to celebrate 75 years of independence. So there were many events that were organized under this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And I was fortunate to perform at many places for the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. In Delhi for sure, which was on 14th August 2022, that I performed I performed several ghazals there. In another event that I went, I performed, I gave a tribute to late Lata Mangeshkar ji. And in another event that followed, again it was regarding ghazals and some old songs that I normally sing. So to sum it up, basically Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav was an year-long event, and wherein we got to perform in many such events, which were mostly solo events. I was fortunate to have done solo events, and there I got to present a variety of songs. So there I was able to showcase my versatility.
So how was it like to grow up as a child who was very talented, gifted musician, a wonderful voice, and you also have a vision impairment? So tell me a little bit about this vision impairment that you have, and how has it challenged you?
Basically, I suffer from optic glioma, and this happened approximately 1 year after birth. However, my mom was really fond of music, listening to songs basically. And this was back in 1996 or 7, when we used to have tape recorders and all. My mom used to listen to songs while doing her household work and so on. And I used to listen to those tapes. And eventually what happened was at the age of probably 2.5, as my parents tell me, they discovered that I could actually sing. One day, a family friend of my parents, they had come over, and the uncle who was there, he was so I was singing a song, right? It was, I think my parents tell me it was "Bade अच्छे लगते हैं ये धरती ये नदियाँ." And he said, so there is this word like that comes in the middle. It's like or, and then we continue or tum. So whenever he said that or, I would say it after him or tum, and then I would hum the next antra of that song. And he was amazed to see that, he was amazed to witness that I knew the whole song. He told this to my parents, and my parents, they became a little keen on knowing that what all I know. So my father narrates to me. So when we used to stroll in the, have a stroll in the balcony, he used to sing some ghazals or whatever he had heard. And he came to know that I had memorized 24 ghazals of Jagjit Singh ji and Pankaj Udas ji, and some songs of Lata ji, all by heart, just by listening to those tapes. So I knew all those songs. So and I used to sing in the best way I could. Obviously, it was not perfect, but they discovered that yes, she has some interest for music, and we should push her, and we should encourage her to pursue this. So at the age of 4, I started learning the basics of music, saregama pa and all, and then it so happened that we shifted to another place, and I started taking lessons in ragas. I started learning ragas, and this journey continued. Yes, when I got into Saregamapa Little Champs at the age of 10, the one thing that I encountered there as a challenge, particularly for someone who is visually impaired, is I used to struggle, and till this date I struggle to perform. And by perform I mean, as people might know, that in the shows and in the concerts, apart from singing, you are expected to do some movements, you are supposed to interact with the audience, get off the stage, and all these things. So as a visually challenged person, that is practically a bit difficult for me. So there were co-contestants who were really good at performing. I mean, they could, do very good movements. But that was not the case with me. So initially, I used to think that because audience enjoys these kind of things and these kind of performances, would I be able to, deliver the same kind of experience to them without performing? So gradually, when I grew up, and obviously with my parents' support and with the guidance of other mentors, I was told that it's not necessary to necessarily to dance on the stage or to do some movements. You can sit, you can play the harmonium, you can sing ghazals, you can then they and I would just like to share, they used to give me the example of Lata ji, because Lata ji was one such iconic figure that she would go on the stage, and just through her voice, just through the power of her voice, she would be able to enchant the audience. She would not have to move, she would not have to perform. This kind of encouraged me, and this led me to pursue music and performing in such a manner that currently I perform ghazals and old songs, but without the movement aspects. And I've been blessed and I've been lucky that people have appreciated me for that, for my voice.
And what about your schooling and college education and all that?
I was lucky to have, been provided access to technology and all sorts of things that can aid me in my education. And I would like to hereby mention that I am efficient at using the computer. And when I entered the university or even at school, I was always keen and I was always ready to take my exams on the computer itself. I never, or you could say, rarely depended on a scribe to take my exams. So in this way, I was blessed to have acquired that knowledge. And in university also, I have taken all my exams on the computer. And in this way, I have not faced any challenge, because I can use the screen readers efficiently. And as long as I get my books scanned, there is no issue reading it as well. So education has been rather smooth for me. Yes, because one thing I would like to mention is, because I am in the music field and I'm pursuing, I have done my bachelor's and master's in music. So one challenge that may come up for musicians like us, or the people who are studying music academically, is when we have to refer to notations. So when we have to refer to notations, there two things may happen. Either we are not able to read it ourselves, or if we give it to the other person, they may not be able to communicate the proper way in which the notation is written. So there might be some ambiguity there. So yes, this was one hurdle which I had to face. And since I'm pursuing my PhD in music, I'm still trying to overcome that challenge.
What are your aspirations going forward?
Right. So as this PhD that I'm pursuing in music will enable me to get the job of an assistant professor, which I'm aiming for. And as well, though the PhD does not have much role in this, but uh, after pursuing my PhD, or even this time as well, currently as well, I would like to perform as well, which I am doing as much as I get the opportunities, as long as I'm getting the opportunities. And also the PhD that I'm doing in music, or the theoretical knowledge that I'm gaining, even the practical knowledge that I'm gaining will help me to tutor more students. I would like to hereby mention that I also teach students classical music, as well as devotional songs or bhajans, which you can say. So pursuing a PhD, broadens your horizon about Indian classical music, and it is far more than the bookish knowledge that we gain. And I aspire to become to sum it up, I would like to become an assistant professor, as well as perform, and simultaneously do my best to teach the other students who might be interested to know more about classical music.
Your dreams and plans don't have Bollywood in the mix?
I mean, if I do get the opportunity while doing these collaborations, if my talent is recognized, or if I do get such opportunity, I would not say no to that opportunity. But my primary aim as such is to be a teacher, a tutor, and a performer.
And what would you like to kind of tell young kids who aspire to pursue music?
First of all, if you are really serious about learning music, you must and must find a good guru for yourself, a good mentor, somebody who inspires you to be the best version of yourself in singing, basically, who can guide you very well and who can encourage you to reach your full potential. And secondly, people, it's not just in music, it's in every field. That there is no shortcut to success. We always have to persevere. We always have to take in account what we are doing, and we have to focus on it with great sincerity.
Thank you so much, Vasundhara, for taking the time and talking to us. Wish you the very best as you go forward. May all your aspirations be fulfilled. All the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much once again.
Eyeway, ये है रोशनी का कारवां.
This podcast was brought to you by Score Foundation.
ये है रोशनी, रोशनी, रोशनी का कारवां. रोशनी. Eyeway, ये है रोशनी का कारवां.